In this world, not every man is born equal. That is the lesson I learned at a very young age. After another day of building, Izuku slowly limped his way back home from school. Bakugo and his goons just loved to smash in the fact that Izuku was born quirkless. And that means he has no future in the hero work. As Izuku kicked an empty can along the sidewalk, he noticed a small ball of fur curled up by some empty boxes. As Izuku got closer, he noticed that it was a kitten, and it had two tails. It looked so malnourished and skinny that Izuku couldn't find it in himself just to leave it there in the cold. So Izuku scooped up the little kitty and hurried home. At first, Inko didn't want two fleas in the house, but she didn't have the heart to kick them out. So she opened a can of tuna and let I'm gonna butcher this, Nekomata cat devour it. After dinner, Izuku scooped up the cat and brought them to his room, only to be scotched by the cat's reaction. It almost human-like. The Nikotama slowly examined the room, looked at the figures staring at the posters, and even gave a "you are a weirdo" look to him. I'm just a really big fan, Izuku spoke, as the Nikomata gave him a "sure you are" look. Can you understand me? Izuku gasped as the two-tailed cat nodded. Izuku at first didn't really know what to think of this, but soon came to consideration that this cat simply had a quirk that gave it a human intelligence. So after the cat got comfy, Izuku proceeded to poke and pried at the cat to ask it about its quirk, with simple yes and no questions, of course. As the one-side conversation continued, Izuku soon began to rant and drop all of his problems on this kitten. The Nikomata simply listened very intently. As tears began to run down his cheeks, the cat gently rubbed its furry head against his cheek, wiping away the boy's salty tears. Thank you, Izuku sniffed as he hugged the cat. From that day on, the cat that called itself Yin began to accompany Izuku from school and home, but one day, as Yin waited outside, they noticed something falling out of the window of the classroom window. Izuku made his way around the school looking for his notebook. He found his cat friend Yin, soaked to the bone. With his notebook in their mouth, Izuku smiled sadly as he took his notebook and picked the cat, promising them a nice can of tuna later. If only today was just like any other day. Maybe crazy things happened today, from almost being killed by a villain to being saved by All Might, to grabbing onto All Might as he jumped high into the sky, only to crash Izuku's dreams and walk home disheveled. As Yin rode Izuku's shoulders, they couldn't help but feel bad for the boy. When something caught their attention, there was a large crowd of people watching a villain run rampant as the heroes failed to do their job. Izuku ran over to see what was happening and was shocked to see it was the villain from before. What made it so much worse is that the villain was holding Bakugo hostage. Yin watched with conflicting feelings but was shocked when Deku suddenly put Yin down on the ground, then ran straight into the chaos. The heroes and citizens gasped in horror as a small boy clenched his bag at the villain in hopes of saving his bully. Why, that boy was done nothing but bring you pain, so why do you help him? Yin wondered as the quirkless boy clawed at the goo monster. Yin sighed in disbelief as the small cat ran towards the danger. As its body grew to the size of a monster truck, Izuku and Bakugo watched in shock as the giant Nekomata stomped on the slime, causing the villain to loose its grip on its hostage. Yin quickly grabbed the two boys by their collars with their sharp teeth and jumped over the villain. The slime man was about to attack. He was punched by the one and only All Might. Ian quickly and quietly placed the boys down. The police officers quickly ordered for the Nekotama's capture. Before Izuku could even say a thing or even defend his feline friend, Yin quickly sunk in size and dashed off into the alleyway with the heroes on their tail. Or I should say tails. Sometime later, that was very risky of you, Yin. You may have been under Yue's protection, but just because you are a part of the juvenile reform program, that doesn't mean you can do what you want, All Might scolded the cat. The Nekotama rolled their eyes and scoffed as the kin slowly formed and transformed into a human self. The teen leaned back with an attitude as they frowned. The heroes wasn't doing anything, so I acted, Yin said simply. I know you have negative view on heroes, but you have to believe that they will pull through, All Might sighed. Yin simply flinched their ears in annoyance. But credit where credit is due. You did great, young man or lady. I think you have what it takes to be a hero. Yin tried to act cool, but All Might could hear the quiet purr from the young teen. So cute, All Might thought to himself as he patted the cat person's head. A little weird, but okay. "3 months later. I wonder where Yin disappeared to. Deku wondered to himself. It had been 3 months since the slime monster incident, and Yin never resurfaced. Oh, resurfaced after that. Half of him was sad that he lost his feline friend, while the other side of him had questions about the extent of their quirk. Yet today, Izuku and Class 1A have something else to worry about. The juvenile reformation program was always controversial. It wasn't just ordinary delinquent teenagers. These were teens who were well on the way of becoming villains, starting off doing small offenses and quickly worked up their way. So one can imagine the tense atmosphere of having a problematic, dangerous individual in a class of future heroes. As Izuku sat on his desk, he noticed that his classmates were not lively as usual. All right, class, I'm sure you know what is happening today, so without delay, we have our new student. Aizawa yawned as he picked up a familiar two-tailed cat. Will the class was purely confused, while Izuku was intentionally freaking out, only for that to be an actual scream when the kitten transformed into a pigeon. Introduce yourself, Aizawa ordered. I'm Yin, and that's all you need to know. Oh, it's good to see you again, Izuku, Yin said as they looked to the boy directly, while waving a bit. Class 1A turned to look at Izuku with even more confusion. Why did this potential villain know who Izuku? Or why would Izuku know such a person? Yin quickly went to their seat next to Izuku and rested their elbows on the table. As the class talked among themselves, avoiding the new student, so Izuku decided to finally talk to Yin after all this time. At first, it was awkward start, but Yin quickly warmed up to Izuku. So I guess all your efforts have paid off, I guess I can expect you to be number 1 soon, Yin joked. That nobody won't make it far in this school, Bakugo scoffed. Well, I can't see you making it far either. I wouldn't be surprised if people mistook you for a villain. Yin laughed. You shut up, cat boy or cat girl. Bakugo growled. Be quiet, Aizawa groaned from his sleeping bag. You didn't have to do that, Izuku whispered. Yeah, but I wanted to, Yin smiled slightly. But you're gonna have to learn to stand up for yourself, sooner or later. If you can't do it, that, or even for yourself, how can anyone trust you when you are defending people from a powerful villain? Izuku's eyes widened at those words. Thank you for the advice, Izuku said with a warm smile. Well, guys, that is the end for these one-shots. Now it is on, well, now it is time for the series you guys voted for, and, well, it looks like you will be having a Bakugo X listener that I think has, I can't see it because right now my thing's being a huge bully. But it has 22 parts so far right now because it is still ongoing. And this might be the first book where that I might read some spicy content. That's if I'm up to it on that day. So I hope you guys enjoyed though. Bye, lovelies.